Hey, I'm Ryan, and this is Get Your Mind Right. Why am I single? This is the biggest question everyone tends to ask me. So, truth be told, I am single due to my beliefs of romantic relationships. I'm going to make a much more detailed video about romantic relationships, beliefs, and how sometimes those beliefs stops you from having a healthy, loving, monogamous romantic relationship. So let's just get into me real quick. So why am I single? My beliefs of romantic relationships are not too good. Growing up, the type of household I grew up in, my mother and my stepfather has always been in my life, and I have stepbrothers and stepsister as well too. Growing up, my parents, they had their own business and they still have their own business till today. So entrepreneurship is very deep in my family, like very, very deep in my family. And so my mother and father, they worked together. It was his business, and she worked with him. And when they would get done working, my mom would really cook. I grew up really having full course meals. I really grew up with everything cooked. You know, I didn't start getting a cup of noodles and boxed macaroni and cheese until I got in high school, where I could buy it at school. Otherwise than that, my mom didn't cook like that. And so that's what I seen growing up. My mom going to work, she still come home, cook and clean. She still make time to go have fun with my stepdad when they want to go out. She was very a busy person, very, very busy. And so that's what I assume as women, that's what we're supposed to do. Now, I had that belief even with boyfriend and girlfriend, not just with husband and wife, but that's what I believe boyfriend and girlfriends do as well too. Not so much you're cooking and cleaning at his house, but if you guys live together, that's the role you're taking. Um, my belief also with romantic relationships. So the first belief is basically whether or not the woman is working, she's still taking care of the home, right? Regardless of whatever she got going on, whether she's going to school, taking care of a sick family member, whatever else she got going on, she still has to come home and take care of her home, meaning cleaning and cooking. My other belief about romantic relationships was that your life changed, like being in a serious one. Your life just basically changed, meaning you don't go out as much. You don't talk on the phone as much. You just don't spend as much time with your friends than you would normally do if you're single. And that belief came from seeing a lot of people that were older than me, the women living like that. The men still get to do whatever the hell they want to, but the women, they life changed. They were now on a time limit and things like that. So as I grew up, 16, 17, when I started getting boyfriends or whatever, that I will admit to this. I lied a lot throughout my relationships because I had this belief that once I get into a relationship, I can't go hang out with my friends often. I can't sit on the phone and gossip and shoot the shit with my friends that often anymore. I now need to answer every phone call. I need every phone call that he does. I need to be at his beck and call. I need to have so much emotional strength to deal with his emotions. Not mine, but to deal with his. So that sincerely was my belief system. So growing up, that's how my relationships was. Like I was almost like two different people in one. I would come over to the guy's house late and they'll chew me out behind it. So the next time I'll create some elaborate lie, you know, and that will be my excuse why I'm late the next time. So I'll just admit, throughout my relationships, my romantic relationships, I did a hell of a lot of lying because I didn't want to disappoint the boy I was with. Now, it's not like we were outside having sex with everything moving, doing stupid stuff, but I just had this belief that once you get into a relationship, you can't hang. You can't do anything no more. You need to really be up underneath your man. Now, mind you, I'm thinking that at the age of 16. At 16 years old. So, as I'm getting older, 16, 17, 18, I start having a feeling of like, you know what? I don't even want to be in a real serious relationship. I just want to have fun. I just want to be friends with benefits and just have fun. So for me, I never requested friends with benefits with guys because I felt like, even for myself, if a dude say to me, Ryan, we friends with benefits, well, hey, dude, that's all we're doing together. We're not going out on no dates. We're not doing nothing but sex. So I've never had a legit friends with benefits type of thing where we sat down and said we're friends with benefits and that's the only thing we do. No, my things was like, we go out, you know, we could be seeing each other 3 to 6 months, but I'm just not going to be your girlfriend. I'm not going to ask you stupid stuff where I can get my feelings hurt. Please don't ask me nothing like that because I'm not your girlfriend. So growing up, me having that belief system of thinking that once a woman is in a serious romantic relationship, everything for her stops, that was something I just did not want to be in. I did not want to be in something serious. It was very much better for me to be in non-committed relationships. Now, I will admit, I did go through a lot of the motions with the men I would go out with. I will also admit that even though I didn't want a serious relationship, me and the person still very much acted like it was a serious relationship. That's not always good, but I will admit that, you know, I did play that role with people, right? But I just did not want that serious relationship. And so I'm going to be really honest with you. My mind frame did not start changing of my mind frame, my belief system didn't change around romantic relationships until, honest to God, it's 2022 till 2020. So 2 years ago was finally when I had this poof of epiphany of, oh, relationships don't have to be like that. And this came from me interacting with different women, you know, interacting with different men. And the biggest game changer was I was seeing this guy and we were long distance. And I'll never forget on the phone, I was like, in Fantasy World, I was telling him, I was like, oh yes, you know. Because he was like, well, do you want us to live together? And that scared me. But I was like, okay, yeah, if we live together, like, you know, I was like, yeah, I only want to work a part-time job because, you know, if you want me to take care of the house and the cooking and stuff like that, you know, that's going to be a lot. So I would prefer to work a part-time job or basically start my own business out there, my massage business, and, you know, where I could still do all this, you know, house stuff, these duties. And this man, he stopped me. He was 4 years older than me. And he was like, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. You're not going to want to do that. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you're not going to want to work, whether you have your own business or not, and then still have to cook and clean up the house. He was like, you're going to eventually resent me. So I would prefer we take turns cooking. And I would prefer that if you cook, then I wash dishes. If I cook, you wash the dishes. And I would prefer that sometimes we could just eat out. I was really shocked when he said that. And I was like, oh, okay. Right? But then I kept thinking, like, why would he tell me that? He's not telling me that. He's losing by telling me this. So obviously he cared enough of being like, I don't want this shit to backfire later on. And she snapped and she ended up having resentment towards me because she feel like I'm not, you know, playing my part too as well. So when he told me that comment, it just really stuck in my head. And during that time, I actually had signed up to see a therapist. And so I was speaking to my therapist and I was telling her like, oh, you know, I want to do all, and she was like, no, Ryan, you don't have to do that. You guys could hire a maid, especially if y'all don't have any kids. You guys could hire a maid for stuff like that. And if you do have kids, you may really want to hire a maid. And she was like, you know, and I told her what he said, and she was like, yeah, he must been in a situation close like that where he's seen by letting the girl do everything, like, you're going to build up resentment. You're going to build up some type of resentment. It shouldn't be that's really your role. Like cooking and cleaning, especially cooking. Cleaning, some people are very precise with their cleaning, so they do kind of prefer themselves to do it. But cooking, that needs to be a shared thing, whether y'all ordering out or whether y'all taking turns with that. And so when she said it, I was like, okay, this must be maybe, okay, I'm really living in the old times. And then I think I took a class at my city college and it was a women's class. And then they start talking about the double shift, women working a double shift, basically working at the job and then coming home to take care of home. So I was like, damn, this is real. Where is this belief coming from me at? And then I start hanging around different women and their relationships. And one friend of mine's, we've been at her house and her husband is bringing us wine. He's the one who's cooking the food and bringing it out to us. And I'm just watching. I'm like, wow, I never even thought of the man doing this. Like, and I loved it. And you could tell that this was nothing new to them. Because every time she was about to, he said, no, I'll get it. You know, I was about to get up and tell. He's like, no, sit down, Rob, bring it back. You guys want some more wine? And it was just like, oh my God, I didn't even know that you could have something like this. And so it's really sad when people I know that's close to me are telling me their relationship beliefs, and it's so many of us that really do genuinely think that has master degrees. I only have a few friends that have PhDs, and I don't talk to them that often, so I can't throw that in there. But I have a good amount of friends who have master's degrees and stuff, and just how much we sincerely do believe that cooking and cleaning is going to enhance the relationship. That cooking and cleaning is our role, and that if we do that, he's going to like us more. Like, so many humans know how to cook and clean. For that to be the only thing that I'm bringing to the table to say to a man like, oh, I'll be able to cook and clean us food every night. Are you serious? These guys are, you know, people that's young coming out and stuff like that. They're coming out making 80K, 100,000, six figures quickly. And with this new, you know, DoorDash, all this new stuff, people are ordering food consistently, especially these younger dudes that got these good jobs. Every date I go on, they want to do some more exotic type of food. I'm like, God damn, what happened to just a good burger and fries? They want to go to the Japanese place and eat something different. And I love eating different foods, but sometimes I'm like, no, I want something hearty and heavy on my stomach. They taking me to have ramen. I'm like, ooh, could we get a slice of pizza afterwards? So the world is changing where, you know, you trying to sell a man a dream about you cooking and cleaning. He like, girl, my job offers me free DoorDash. So I eat different exotic foods every goddamn day. So this is my reasoning of why I am single. My belief system was just very old school, out of touch, a hot mess, where I would not be, where I'm going to be honest with you, where I would not have been beneficial to a man in a relationship. I would have been very, very, very average. And what I mean by very, 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 very average of just, hey, I could cook and I could clean. You want to have intercourse? And there's so much more to me than that. You know, very much more to me than cooking, cleaning, and intercourse. And so when 2020, when I start seeing it in front of me, and I want to say towards the end of 2020, like October, November, that's when I start really drilling it in my head. Like, you know what, Ryan, your belief system is kind of bogus when it comes to relationships. And I'm very grateful I'm not in one, because I just would have been dragging that type of belief system out with more and more romantic relationships. Right? Because even sometimes I go on dates and I have to catch myself of being too caring or too empathetic, where it's too early to do that. And for number two, he could get that from his parents. He could get that from his friends. He needs somebody in front of him that's going to hold him accountable. So when I got that reality check of just like, you're not going to want to live that type of lifestyle forever. You need to not put that out there in the universe so you can stop meeting people who's going to match that and change your mind frame. The last date I went on, I don't know how we started talking about food, but he was just like, I like cooking, but I really do like trying different foods a lot. So for me, cooking ain't a big deal. You know, I make good money. I can always order out. And right when he said that, I was like, okay, God, universe is listening to me. They're seeing that I'm really changing my beliefs, and now I'm meeting people who's kind of like telling me off from jump. I love eating exotic and different type of foods. So now just think, if I didn't tell myself, let me not get into nothing serious right now. Just think if I would have been like, okay, time to get into a serious relationship, how much turmoil I would be in at this moment. I'll be stressed out, working, doing my skincare line. I probably 9 out of 10 would even start a YouTube channel, because in my mind I'm thinking all my time has to be there for him. You know, he would have stayed in a box because I would have been too afraid to hold him accountable with certain things. I would have been too afraid to say to myself, no, I'm not doing no damn cooking. I'm not doing any of that. He could order some food out. So, to truth be told, I am so sincerely happy that I am single and I did take it serious, because if I didn't, I could only imagine what type of relationship I would be in right now. I could only imagine how much of a hindrance I would have been for a young man in a relationship, and how it would not have been beneficial to me, him, or society. And I'm really big of saying, me not saying no, or me not getting this in order and then being with a man and then programming him to think that's cool, and then we break up and he goes to the next woman, and the next woman now is caught up in this cycle. That's what I mean when I say it's not healthy for me, him, nor society. So this is my reasoning of why I'm single. My romantic relationship belief system was very out of whack. It was very out of touch with myself. It wouldn't have been beneficial for me, him, or society. And I needed to first really change my belief system. So now that my belief system has changed, I am now sincerely much more open to being in a serious romantic relationship that could possibly lead to marriage. Why? Because I now have a much better outlook of what I picture my romantic relationship to be like. I have a much better outlook of what I can bring to a romantic relationship. And I have a much better outlook of what a man should bring to the romantic relationship that he wants to have with me. So I'm going to make a couple more videos that really just talk about the belief system of us women and men too, of romantic relationships, and how that belief system at times has hindered yourself from having a healthy, happy, monogamous, romantic relationship. Okay, so I hope you can respect my opinion and, you know, why I am single. And if you have any comments, leave them down in the comment area. And like I said, I'm going to be making up another video that's going to dive deeper into our belief system as human beings regarding romantic relationships. Thank you.